The information and opinions expressed on Senior Living are neither legally binding nor the responsibility of this cable system. The following program is made possible by a generous donation from the Veterans Assistance Association.
Hi, thanks a lot for tuning in today. My name is Patrick Smasko, and this is the first segment of Senior Moments. Let me explain a little bit about what it is. I'm an elder law attorney, and I've been doing elder law since 1990 for about 20 years. And I've been doing lectures. I'm the vice president of the Alzheimer's Association. Now I'm a director. I'm also the chairman of the Elder Law Committee for Macomb County Bar Association. And I've been doing elder law for a long time, doing seminars, and I thought it'd be good to have a show that we can go and have questions and answers and talk about all of the issues that come up with our senior community. And today we're going to be talking specifically about the most important area that I think is power of attorneys and what they are. This segment's going to be about a half hour, so we're going to have some questions during it and afterwards. And then as we go along through our shows, we're going to be talking about wills and trusts, probate, how to avoid probate, Medicaid planning, financial planning, retirement planning, veterans benefits, and we're just going to be answering all the questions that our seniors have. So let's get started. I'd like to thank the audience for showing up today. Does anybody here have power of attorneys right now? Medical or financial power of attorneys? Those are really the most important documents that families need because it addresses the issues that you have right now while you're alive. There's people understand that they want to avoid probate, and there's two types of probate that we want to avoid. People usually think about mom passed away and we want her assets to go to her family members without having to go through probate. But the more important probate that you have to watch out for is mom gets sick and she doesn't have someone there that can make her medical decisions for her and have someone there to make her financial decisions. That's the living probate that we want to avoid, okay? If you have any questions, throw them out there. We love answering questions. If anyone in the audience at home has questions, there's going to be a spot that you could call or email your questions. We can answer them later on in later shows. Medical and financial power of attorneys. Those are the two documents, okay? If you don't have those two documents and mom gets sick or dad gets sick, you have to go to probate court and have a guardianship or conservatorship. Has anyone ever been through guardian or conservatorship in the past? It's not very fun. And it's the easiest thing to avoid. And the first one we start out is a financial power of attorney. That's a document that says, boy, if I get sick, I want someone there to be able to go to the bank for me, do my tax returns for me, deal with my insurance company. When you have that financial power of attorney, you don't have to have a conservatorship, okay? Your kids can make those decisions for you. And you want to make sure that you have an order. You don't want to just pick your husband to be in charge. You want to pick your husband or your wife, and if they're not around, son number one, daughter number two. You want an order because they may get sick, and you want a second person in line or a third person in line to do that. It's the financial power of attorney. Then there's the medical power of attorney. Anyone hear of a living will before? A living will, few people. A living will is a document that used to be around back when Governor Blanchard was in office and before. A living will is a document that says, boy, if I should get on life support, whether or not you want to be on life support or not. If you have a living will, that isn't valid in Michigan anymore. After Governor Blanchard left office so many years ago, he signed a law that says you can have a designation of patient advocate. That's a document that says that if I get sick, I want someone there to make my medical decisions for me. Doctor, hospital, operation, medication, all those medical decisions that may pop up. Now, just because you're married you don't have the automatic right to make the decisions for your husband or your wife. You have to have that medical power of attorney. Now, if you go to the hospital and you're in an emergency situation, they're going to give you that medical treatment. But at that point, if you don't have a medical power of attorney, they're going to be asking you for one. And if you can't have it signed up, then you have to go to probate court and have a guardianship. Have you guys ever been admitted to the hospital and they ask you for the living will or the medical? That's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. Now, the part of the medical power of attorney is you're designating someone to make your medical decisions. Now, within that document, you have the living will part of it as to whether or not you want to be on life support or not. Okay? You can have someone there to say, I don't want to be on life support, use reasonable methods, or you can go the other way and say, I want to be on life support. You can make your decisions, and your family is just going to carry those decisions out for you. Okay? It's really important to have those two documents. Now, with the financial power of attorney, we're going to go over to that one now, is there's different types of power of attorneys, financial. There's a power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, and then a springing durable power of attorney. People have different documents, and a lot of times they don't know exactly what they have. Okay? A durable power of attorney says that, hey, I'm going to sell my house. Excuse me, a power of attorney is if I want to sell my house and I'm not in town, I'm going to pick someone to make, I'm going to pick someone to have the authority to sign all the real estate papers. Works great. It's a limited for a purpose. But that power of attorney means if Dad gets sick, the power of attorney doesn't have authority to act anymore. How does that help us if we need it later on in life? So what families have, it's called a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney says, I give authority to my son to make all of my decisions right now. Go to the bank for me, sign tax returns for me, insurance forms, pension checks. When I give him authority to act under that power of attorney and I become sick, he has authority to keep acting for me. It's durable. It lasts through my disability. And it works great as long as you trust your children or whoever you pick down as your power of attorney, because they have authority to act for you immediately when you sign that paper. So families, they don't want to give so much authority to act right now. They create a springing power of attorney, a springing durable power of attorney that says that I have the power of attorney, I'm signing it today. I pick my son to be in charge. He has no authority to act right now. But if I get sick, and typically it requires 2 doctors to verify that I'm disabled or cannot act on my own behalf, it springs into effect. So the person has authority and it springs into effect once you get those 2 doctors' notes. Then it's durable, meaning he has authority to act all the way through my illness. If I get better, the power stops. Okay? A lot of times younger families will use the springing power of attorney because they don't need their son to have authority to act right now. But as people get older, it's one extra hoop to jump through to get those doctor's notes. So they both work great. It's just deciding whether or not you want them to have authority to act right now or act in the future if you should get sick. Any questions on that?
I have a durable power of attorney for an 85-year-old lady friend, both medical and financial. Her son is secondary. He lives in Arizona. And if I make financial decisions or medical decisions for her without him being here or anything, does he have any recourse to come back at me at any time as a result of decisions I make because he is not here to make those decisions?
Good, very good question. And I guess the question is, if I'm a power of attorney, do I have liability that attaches to it? First of all, as you're a power of attorney, you're acting as that person's fiduciary. You have to act in their best interest. So you're not allowed to steal their money. Okay? We'll start with that. So assume that you're not going to. That power of attorney gives you a lot of latitude to act 100% on her behalf, and you're really not going to get in trouble as long as you're acting with her best interest. If you start investing money for her, there is some prudent investor rules that you have to watch out for, but if it's typical taking care of your friend, you really don't have anything to worry about. Now, when you do sign things as power of attorney, you want to identify yourself as being the power of attorney. If you're signing for a lease on an apartment, if you sign your name, you could be held responsible because you signed your name. You better put power of attorney next to it, okay? You better put power of attorney. Medical power of attorney, a lot of times the family asks, boy, if I'm medical power of attorney and something happens to mom and she falls and hurts herself, am I going to be responsible? You're really not. You're not. You're doing the best job to take care of her. And as long as you have that in the back of your mind that you're just trying the hardest for her, you really don't have much to worry about. Okay, good question.
So as a follow-up to that, this lady is in a senior citizen's residence, and she does have to fill out papers a couple of times a year, and she has to name who would make decisions if she gets sick. They don't have a copy of the power of attorney as far as I know, but I have signed some of those papers just with my name. So what you're saying is that when I sign those, I should sign them with my name and underneath it, power of attorney.
Correct.
And that would protect me from any liability that she might still have to that apartment community
Yes.
or anything as well?
Right, because you're signing as her agent, but not on you individually. Brings up a good point. Should that person have the power of attorney? If for financial, if you're dealing with the bank, they're going to ask for the power of attorney. If you're dealing with stock companies or other agencies, they're going to want to see the power of attorney. For your medical power of attorney, your doctor needs to have a copy of it, and also the hospital. So when you walk in, they say, hey, do you have a power of attorney? Yes, here it is. Don't ever give away your original. Let them make copies. Make sure you always bring the original back home. Copies work. The only time you're going to need original financial power of attorney if you're going to be signing quitclaim deeds and they're going to be recording the deed, you have to record the original power of attorney with it. So don't give up the originals. Good. Any other questions? I think, oh.
Yes, Pat. I've been to a lot of seminars, and I never heard of this spring power of attorney, where the daughter or son that takes over once you're incapacitated.
Right.
I never heard of it before. Is this something new?
No, it's been around for a long time.
Because I have the regular power of attorney for my daughter, but I don't have this spring power of attorney. I don't know if it should be changed or not.
They both work, but if you get sick and you need to have someone act for you, sometimes you have to act really quickly. And you have to go and get doctor's notes for the springing power of attorney to become effective. So if you trust your children implicitly, which I hope everyone does, but sometimes that's not the case, have a durable power of attorney. If you're younger, you don't anticipate that they're going to need this power for some time in the future, go with the springing power of attorney.
I think it makes a huge difference for kids or children of any age to have a mentor.
I like having a mentor in my life because it gives me someone to talk to.
It makes me feel good knowing that I can actually give her advice that helps her make a difference in her life.
The most important thing I've learned from Debbie was to follow my dreams. Seeing Debbie accomplish her goals makes me realize that I can accomplish my goals. January is National Mentoring Month.
Expand your universe, mentor a child.
My wife's drinking really made things difficult for me. I had to work hard just to keep everything normal. My EAP counselor at work sent me to Al-Anon family groups. I didn't think I needed to go, but